you can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone. It's a whole new beginning, a new year, but we'd like to talk about reflecting on 2020. But before we do that, I want to say good morning to my best friend. Good morning, Eva. Happy New Year. You ready for this today?
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everyone else out there. I hope that everyone had a great night last night and were with someone that they loved. And we're excited to bring in 2021. I'm looking forward.
Oh my gosh. So different from a normal, normally, Bob and I will go out and party with a bunch of people, but we decided to make our own party, and we played games, and we got takeout for, Italian food, and we had, Prosecco and played games, and it was really fun, different. But really fun that we can be great company in cards. I'm a sore loser with cards, though. I want to win.
You're so funny. I like winning, too. I'm not very good at games because I just want to win. So I understand that.
Oh, what did you do?
I really wanted to. I'm excited that we're talking about this. What is something you're taking away from 2020? And before we dive in, couple notes. I want to let our viewers know that, so for the last, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, we've been doing this. I've been streaming to like my personal Twitter and my personal Facebook, along with our Set to Love pages. So we have a Facebook /Set to Love. We also have YouTube /C/Set to Love. We got that yesterday. So you can just go to YouTube and type in Set to Love and you'll find us. So subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Facebook. Also, we have our own Twitter account, Set to Love or twitter.com/Set to Love. So only if we have like a really great guest or it's a topic I'm really excited about or some big news, I won't be streaming to my personal pages. I'm just going to be going to those other ones now. So I just want people to know, if they're like, all of a sudden, how come Eva's feed doesn't have 100 Set to Love podcasts? That's why. So they're still happening, just on another page. So letting people know. I also want to ask our listeners and our viewers, what are you reflecting on in 2020? What did you learn? Hey, good morning, Claudia. Happy New Year to you. Excited to have you here.
Happy New Year, Claudia.
So I want to know what you guys have learned and what's your takeaway from 2020. So Shelly, I'll start with you.
My reflection is that we are so much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. I mean, we really are. We've gone through a lot this year, but I think we've come out of it on top. And it's really, to me, attitude is everything. And I choose to look at, when I look back at this last year, there's been a lot of sad things, but more so than that, there's been greater things that have happened. And, sometimes through conflict and whatever, you get closer with your loved ones, and many good things come out of all these life lessons, COVID. And I appreciate my home so much more. We were constantly going and going and going. And when I thought of, oh my gosh, what are we going to do for 2 whole weeks stuck here? And now I absolutely love being home. I love being with just Bob and I. And it just, it's taught me so much. And then I think about, prioritizing things, and, Harper's now in my world, and a new granddaughter. And that has brought a whole new light in my life. And on Bob's side, we have Hudson, who is just so precious and adorable. And I just think that there's many things that are going to be great for the new year. But really reflecting back, I also think about, New Year's resolutions from last year. And I'm thinking I was thinking this morning, it's always my weight and health. And instead of beating myself up, I think I want to take away, like, what did I learn last year? Like, I did better last year than I've done any year, yet I'm still back kind of to start again. But I need to look at what worked and what didn't. And now I have a whole new year. Instead of feeling guilty, I just tell myself I had fun the last few months. Now we just got to figure out and prioritize. And last thing is, I'm super, super grateful. And what I learned is that when you have a dream and you put one step and one brick at a time, you can get somewhere. I'm so grateful for this podcast and what it's done for our relationship and how we can rely on one another. And it's just deepened us so, so much. Now this is just part of our lives. So I'm super excited to see where this takes us and what our viewers need from us. I hope that they'll, talk to us more and respond to things, because we really have a heart of giving, the two of us, and we can only do that if they tell us what they need.
Right. Well, and that comes with asking good questions. So
Yes.
that's definitely something. Goal setting. We talked about small goals and yesterday was small goals. So just figuring out, like, what does the audience need? How can we bring that to them? I think that's important when we look forward, and really filling a need. That's one of the layers in the Flow Life funnel. Like, what need can be filled? So for all of our viewers, what need can you fill this year in 2021? When you think about that, you're able to, it just fills you up. It really does. When you realize, like, you have meaning, you have purpose, you have value, and there's something that you can contribute. So yeah, I look forward to that. Those are really great things, Shelly. I think those are
Yeah.
really beautiful. Really. And I love the dream one. Was definitely one for me that I was like, okay, I have really learned. I mean, because of I had the experience of starting a nonprofit and just having an idea and then seeing it come to fruition. Like, I knew dreams were possible. I knew that this idea, this concept of laying a brick every day, is something that really pays off. It's like just getting outside and running for that 5 minutes, and then that 5 minutes turns to 10, and that 10 can turn to 20. And that's the same with anything that you want to start in life, but you have to start. So I love that one. One of my big reflections that I'm taking away is, I used to think that our country as a whole was this giant, giant ship. And it takes a really long time to turn a giant, giant ship. Like, imagine a cruise ship or
Mm-hmm.
one of those cargo ships that carry all of like those giant freights, and it takes so long for one of those to turn around. And I just thought, well, that's why our education system is so poor. And that's why our healthcare system, and that's why our food supply chain, and that's why we have all of these systems that are broken, because it just takes a really long time for them to evolve. And now I don't believe that at all. Now, this year, what I've learned is how ridiculously innovative, creative, resilient, and resourceful human beings are. We locked down the entire world in couple weeks, or even less. We created a vaccine for a brand new virus in 9 months. 9 months. So
Amazing.
there's no excuse. There is no excuse why we do not have a better education system coming up, why we do not have better healthcare, why we don't have cures for tons of things, why we don't have better, like, free energy or other resources available to humans all over the world. If we can handle this year and be as innovative and creative as we have been, look at, like, the rallies that we had this year. I don't care what rally you're looking at, but how people come together in such a quick way to really push a movement forward. I mean, we are amazing. Humans are amazing creatures. And this idea that things take a really long time and they need to move really slow, and we can't implement things like social emotional learning in our curriculums, or, like, look, now we're doing all of our learning online. There's so many ways to improve that for things to get better. And I think if there's anything that 2020 has really taught me, it's look for those needs. What are the needs today in our world? And then, do you have the skills? This is the whole reason I even wrote the book. Do you have the skills, the talents, the interests, the desires to change and adapt and help to positively evolve one of these systems? Because if it's pulling at your heart, then go out there in 2021 and do it. Because look at what is possible in 1 year. We have completely changed how our world looks. So if we put all of our intention and our focus into creating and leaving a mark that is something for the better, and we start all focusing on how we can contribute to society and really change these broken systems, we can do it in a very fast way. And that's something that has been just weighing on me for so many months now, and especially with this vaccine now rolling out and seeing all of that, regardless of how you feel about it one way or another. So many different pharmaceutical companies created their own version of this. So it's not even like just one, we got lucky with one. No, we've got a plethora. There are choices out there. So I think that we can take that model and apply it to so many of our other systems. So that's something that I've definitely learned, is just how amazing and creative and innovative human beings are, and how can we apply that even on a micro level in our lives, like looking at your own personal life. And if we can change on this macro level, then we can definitely make the small changes, whether it's with your health, your personal health, your self-care, your self-love, the word that you're trying to work on this year, the way you're trying to show up in the world. You can do it, and it doesn't take a really long time to change. It just takes the mindset, like, nope, I need to do it. Today's the day. And you just commit to it, you start, and you go for it.
Wow, that was beautifully said, Eva. I agree 100% on that. I also, what makes me think is that life is short too. You know, we've lost a lot of people this year with this COVID, and you know, it's been really sad and hard on a lot of families. And it's amazing too when you have to do something, how you do it. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we had to come up with a vaccine, and look, we did it more ways than one. And I feel like if we look at that in our lives, instead of just waiting for things to happen or waiting till you have to do it, if we could take that momentum and go forward by, you know, like life is short. Like, what if you only had a month to, you know, what would you want to do in that month?
Mm-hmm.
And we really appreciate, you know, life and family. And that's, to me, why it's so important that, you know, you let some of these things go that really are ridiculous in the big scheme of things, about holding grudges and holding on to, you know, your fears or whatever it is. I think that that's, you know, you're coming up with what you had to say as far as a world. But I think if every person looked within themselves and found a few things this year that they could really work on and or let go of, you know, we would just be, you know, if you start just with your family, because family is everything. Family is our future. It's everything, to, at least to me, it is. And I just think that, you know, love is where it comes from. You know, you've just got to come from love, and love cures all. I really believe that.
I asked Julian, I asked him this question because we were talking about it yesterday, and he said, tomorrow is not promised. And that's really, it goes along the lines of what you're saying, you know? So are you loving the people in your life wholeheartedly that are there? Are you working through things that you feel good, bad, or otherwise? Are you utilizing your essence to contribute to this world? Are you feeling a need? Do you feel like you matter? And if you don't feel like you matter, that's up to you to go put yourself in a position or help someone or do something, so that way you can start to feel that. It's not up to anyone else to make you feel like you matter. And so tomorrow is not promised. So when you lay your head down at night, do you feel good about who you are and the choices that you made, even if they're not the best or the most perfect, but did you try your best? You know, and I think that's something that I really look back on, and I agree with that, because you know, life is precious and it is short, and as far as we know, we only have one chance. You know, maybe there's more, we don't know, but what we do know is that today we have today. And so as long as you're here, what are you going to do with your today, and how are you going to set up your 2021 so that way you can be successful? And that's what we're talking about on Monday. Tan Moore is coming back, and we're
Yay.
saying 2021, what now? And she's so brilliant, and just the way she approaches life and looks at things. So I really want to invite people back. Remember that you can find us at our Set to Love pages. So facebook.com/set to love. You can find us on YouTube at Set to Love. Just Google it, or not Google. Oh, you could Google it also, and you'll find us there. But yeah, so I just want people to be just a little recall and let us know, what are you reflecting on in 2020? Comment below, like this, share this. It really helps with the algorithms and having people find us. And that's really what our goal is. One of them in 2021 is to build this audience and to really be of service and to help people figure out what their thing is that they're looking for. How do they find that meaning? How do they find that purpose? How do they find that self-love? And if we can assist in that process, then I will feel like that we're doing what we're meant to do. We're following our flow. So I love you, friends, so much.
I love
Thank
you.
for a wonderful year. I feel so
Yes.
blessed to have you in my life, and I'm grateful for our audience and for all of our supporters. And you can find us online at settolove.com, and you can email us at settolovedpodcast@gmail.com. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you again, friend, for such a wonderful podcast. All of it, this
Yay.
whole year. I really love you and appreciate you.
I love you too. Hit the bell, everyone.
Hit the bell. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.